Great. And I just want to note that when you're researching and doing, your reading for this on the topic of American protest songs, it's very easy to find sources online. There are lots of government websites which track the histories of slavery combined with music. You know, and I think this is a really lovely introduction. When spoken words are impossible or inadequate vessels, singing is a superpower resonating through the body, shifting atmosphere, and communicating beyond the words. Um, and here, as I mentioned, slavery was an inherently violent process. It was one of the most violent processes of 17th and 19th century, done on such a large scale between 10 to 12 million Africans were enslaved. So, singing was a way for communities to almost fight against this. And also at the same time, there's a connectivity to the West African culture in which they have been forcibly taken. So, like the commentary from Ralph Metcalfe, that music is and was one of the most stable aspects of West African culture because of the musical system which functioned at the center of African society. And actually, if you're interested in West African society, there's some excellent books on how memory functions as a form of community history in cultures. And this is spoken oral rather than written down. And actually, singing, an act of rhyming things and creating lyrics, makes these kind of histories much easier to remember. And I think presumably this is something that the slaves taken from West Africa and living in the southern US at this time would have remembered, would have noticed at least. And this, I think, is a really good, precise example. You can mention the 1739 Stoner Rebellion and how drums were considered dangerous communication tools, but this rhythmic power transferred to the body and the voice. And I think this is really important to mention because when you talk about music, you can be as precise as possible and say, this was a song, this was created by these instruments. Even that kind of in-depth analysis will be useful as well. And I think also about how music is produced, how almost powerful and intimate music can be if it's produced through singing rather than like a wordless kind of drumming. Which one of those is going to be more significant in creating emotions that inspire people to rebel against a systematic violence? So let's go back to the slide. Um, and I mentioned West African music because this is I think this picture was taken in 2020. It's of a Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. And you can see the drumming instruments that they've used there as well. And this map here with the red lines, it shows you the complexity of the Underground Railroad from 1830 to 1865. So when you have this presentation open, you can zoom in and see more precisely which areas were involved.